guys, today's vocabulary word or term that we will be exploring is the word juxtaposition. Now, this sounds super complicated, but actually it's a pretty fun word. So, juxtaposition in art just basically means that you are placing objects together that seem kind of weird or that are opposite to each other. So, artists could use opposite colors to draw attention to their artworks, or they could use elements that are like different textures that look odd on a picture to create a dramatic effect. So, when we look at the explanation by the editors of Mensa for Kids, they explain that juxtaposition means to put pictures or ideas side by side. In art, juxtaposition is often used to create an effect by placing contrasting elements together. This adds visual interest, creating excitement and drama in an artwork. Here's an example of juxtaposition using both color and texture. In the first picture, this artwork has a blue background with a contrasting color or its complementary color in the circle, orange. So these two colors kind of pop out against each other. In the second image, we have a plain primary color as a background, the yellow, and it's very smooth. And then we have the rough textured cone on top of it with the skittles that are placed as the ice cream part on top of it. So this creates a rough texture against the smooth background. There's also a bit of play with some contrasting colors or some exciting colors to draw attention. We also wouldn't usually expect to see Skittles with an ice cream cone. We would expect to see an ice cream, right? So these are elements that create a bit of a dramatic effect in the artwork. Now remember, in our last explanation of characteristics in art, we looked at an artwork by Salvador Dali, The Persistence of Memory. And this is such a great example of how the artist used objects in a juxtaposition or in a juxtaposed composition. What are some of the elements you notice here that look weird or strange and draws really dramatic attention? To me, it's obviously the watches, but there are other elements too. Can you see them? The watches, first of all, don't really belong in this what looks or appears to be a natural landscape. They're mechanical and they're also melting. The fact that they're melting could be because it's maybe very hot outside in this picture, but it does seem kind of strange that these watches would just be melting outside. So lots of contrasting and weird ideas happening. Also the weird looking nose face thing. What is that? So maybe you could be using juxtaposition in interesting ways in your own artworks. And now you could also notice how artists use juxtaposition in their art. I hope that this was helpful. Thank you for your attention.